A 22-year-old woman was fatally stabbed on March 11th while live streaming outdoors in Tokyo's Takadanobaba neighborhood. The woman was stabbed in the head and neck with a 13-centimeter blade survival knife dozens of times. She was confirmed dead at the hospital. A selfie stick was found at the crime scene, where the woman was in the middle of live streaming. The suspect told police he located her from her live stream.
March 11th, 2025. Early on a cold Tokyo morning, a brutal murder played out live. 22-year-old influencer Iriri Sato was streaming her morning walk when a blood-curdling scream tore through the broadcast. A man lunged from the shadows, gripping a survival knife. He struck with relentless force, driving the blood into her head, neck, and chest. Her phone hit the pavement, still streaming to nearly 7,000 viewers as she bled out on the street. Bystanders screamed. Blood pooled on the floor, and the attacker stood motionless over Ari's body, his face eerily blank. When police arrived, he confessed on the spot. "I didn't mean to kill her." The knife was still in his hand. This is the gruesome story of Ari Sato. To her thousands of followers, she was Mogami Ai, a vibrant, uplifting young girl who radiated positivity. On Instagram and streaming platforms, Ai Sato created an online persona that was adored by all. At 22, she was just beginning to make her mark on Japan's influencer scene. She wasn't a megastar with millions of followers, but she had a devoted fan base who eagerly awaited her daily updates, live streams, and glimpses into her life in Tokyo. She had a knack for connecting with people. Her cheerful energy combined with her relatable content made her seem like a friend, someone viewers could relate to and share their own experiences with. But behind the carefully crafted online image, Ai was a young woman navigating the struggles of life. She had dreams of making it big, of turning her online fame into a career. Like many influencers, she got her income through sponsorships, collaborations, and, as investigators would later discover, financial support from devoted fans.
This man says he had been watching her streams for about a year.
She was upbeat, and she didn't let you down. I'm just sad, that's all I can say. I rooted for her. I never thought something like this could happen.
Those who knew her personally described her as ambitious, energetic, and fiercely independent. She had a strong work ethic and a determination to succeed in a world that often favored image over actual substance. Tragically, Ari's ambition would make her vulnerable. Her desire to connect with her audience would open the door to danger, and her reliance on financial support from fans would ultimately lead her down a path with no return.
NHK has learned from investigative sources that the suspect told them he wanted to hurt the victim after he lent her a large sum of money that she failed to return.
Kenichi Takano wasn't some criminal mastermind. He wasn't a hardened thug with a record. From all accounts, he was a seemingly ordinary man. At 42, Kenichi appeared adrift. He held odd jobs, and his social life seemed limited. He was, in many ways, invisible. But beneath the surface, there was frustration, resentment, and a growing obsession. He was drawn to the world of online streamers, captivated by the relationships they had with their followers. It was online that Kenichi discovered Ai. He became one of her devoted viewers. He saw her as a beacon of light, a source of happiness in his otherwise boring life. Over time, Kenichi's admiration shifted. He began to see Ai as more than just an online persona. He became convinced that she needed his help. He started sending her money, convinced that he was playing a crucial role in her life.
Investigators say the suspect even took out a loan to lend her money.
But as the months passed, Kenichi grew increasingly resentful. He felt that Ai was taking advantage of him. This sense of betrayal festered within him, fueling a growing rage. He felt used, humiliated, and desperate. He wanted his money back, and more importantly, he wanted his feelings validated. Little did Ai know that her online personality had attracted a dangerous admirer, a man teetering on the edge of sanity, a man who believed that he had been wronged and was willing to take drastic measures to get revenge.
Police say Sato was stabbed several dozen times with a survival knife.
Irie thrived on attention. Comments, virtual gifts, devoted fans who felt they knew her. It was all a part of the job. Kenichi Takano had started like any other viewer. He'd stumbled upon her channel one evening, and he'd leave comments, send virtual gifts, and engage in the chat. But over time, Kenichi's behavior had shifted. His messages became more frequent and more personal. According to later police reports, Kenichi had been sending Irie money through various online platforms. Small amounts at first, but they gradually increased over time. Irie, like many streamers, relied on these donations to supplement her income. Irie made an effort to acknowledge Kenichi's support, thanking him during her streams and responding to his messages. She knew the dangers of online relationships. She'd seen other streamers get harassed, stalked, or even threatened by obsessed fans. She tried to be cautious, but Kenichi's presence was unsettling. He seemed to genuinely believe that they had a special connection, a bond that went beyond social media. He saw her as more than just a streamer. He saw her as a friend, a confidant, a potential partner. Irie tried to manage the situation carefully, keeping his advances at bay and keeping their interactions strictly online. She couldn't afford to alienate a paying viewer, but she also couldn't ignore the warning signs. She found herself increasingly on edge, constantly looking over her shoulder, wondering if Kenichi was watching her, waiting for an opportunity to get closer. A chilling thought that would soon become a horrifying reality. The question was not if it would happen, but when.
Another live streamer says he has been fortunate himself, but is aware of the risks.
There are a lot of haters out there, as well as followers who turn against you when they donate money and don't get a response. People who stream should be careful and keep a safe distance.
The morning of March 11th, 2025 unfolded like any other for Irie. Like usual, she live streamed to her followers near JR Takanoba Station, sharing the sights and sounds of her morning. The camera showed snippets of bustling Tokyo life, commuters rushing, shops opening, the general energy of the city. On the feed, Irie's voice was upbeat. She commented on the weather, interacted with viewers in the chat, and mentioned her plans for the day, which included a quick stop near the station. But among the viewers law enforcement would later confirm was Kenichi Takano. His presence wasn't unusual. He was a loyal viewer of Irie's streams, but what was unusual is that on this day, he was hiding right around the corner, a knife hidden in his bag. In the next horrifying moments, Irie was about to be brutally murdered.
The suspect reportedly told investigators he came to the capital after hearing Sato would be live streaming a walk along the city's Yamanote train line. He said he pinpointed her location by watching the live stream.
Without warning, the situation detonated. Those watching Ai Megami's live streams saw it all unfold in real time. Later analysis would piece together the horrifying sequence of events. Kenichi Takano, who had been lurking just outside the frame, suddenly appeared, stepping directly into the camera's view behind Irie. With no hesitation, Kenichi brought out a knife from his pocket and the blade into Irie's neck. The live stream feed lurched violently. Irie's screams filled the air. The phone clattered to the ground. The camera now pointed at the sky, capturing the sounds of the unfolding horror. Thousands of viewers watched in stunned silence as the unthinkable unfolded. The chat window exploded with messages, disbelief, confusion, terror. Some initially thought it was a prank, a staged stunt gone wrong. Tragically, it was all too real. Kenichi continued his attack. Blood splattered the pavement, the surrounding area, and even the lens of Irie's phone. A call to emergency services came in at 9:50 a.m. Bystanders screamed from nearby buildings, their cries echoing through the streets. But it was too late. Irie had already suffered critical injuries. She collapsed to the ground, the camera now showing only her twitching fingers and thick pools of blood. Kenichi stood over her, his expression unreadable. He looked down at Irie and asked, "Are you dead?" Then sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder by the second. Police arrived swiftly, and Kenichi offered little resistance as officers wrestled him to the ground. The streaked knife clattered onto the pavement. He openly admitted to the stabbing, but when questioned about his motive, he offered a chilling explanation saying, "I didn't mean to kill her." Irene was rushed to a nearby hospital. Doctors fought to save her life, but the damage was too severe. She was pronounced dead 80 minutes later. Her final moments, her final broadcast, would forever be out in the world for all to see. Kenichi was taken into custody at the scene. While he admitted to the stabbing, his motivation still remained a mystery. He was transported to a police station for an interrogation.
Police arrested 42-year-old Takano Kenichi on the spot. He has now been charged with murder.
Meanwhile, a parallel investigation began immediately, gathering witness statements. The attack occurred in broad daylight in a public area, meaning numerous people had witnessed the murder. Another team of detectives focused on Irene's digital footprint. Her live stream provided a disturbing record of the events. Investigators painstakingly reviewed the footage, searching for clues. Irene's social media accounts became a focal point. Detectives examined her posts, direct messages, and comments, looking for any indication of threats, harassment, or disputes. The investigation quickly widened to include Kenichi's background. His residence in Oyama Tochi Prefecture was searched. Investigators sought to uncover any evidence of financial instability, mental health issues, or a history of violence. Kenichi's friends, family, and acquaintances were all interviewed. Detectives attempted to understand his relationship with Irene. As the investigation progressed, a picture began to emerge: a loner who had spiraled into an obsession. The question that lingered in everyone's mind was, what pushed Kenichi Takano to commit such a brutal act? The answer, investigators believed, lay in the digital breadcrumbs of their online relationship. Financial records meticulously gathered by police revealed a clear pattern. Kenichi had been sending Irene Sato money for months. The total amount was significant, totaling 2 million yen, approximately $13,500. During questioning, Kenichi claimed this wasn't just generosity. He insisted it was a loan, an investment in Irene's career. He said there were some implied promises about repayment.
The suspect claims that he did not intend to kill her and denies the allegations. According to investigators, the man claimed that he lent over 2 million yen to the woman and decided to commit the crime because she would not pay it back.
Detectives found no evidence to support his claims of a formal agreement. Irene never explicitly promised to repay the money, but Kenichi was adamant. He believed he had been wronged and that Irene had taken advantage of his generosity. He wanted his money back, and he wanted her to acknowledge the special connection he thought that they had. His obsession with Irene, fueled by a sense of financial betrayal, appeared to have driven him to the brink. What started as an online connection had spiraled into something far darker, a fixation that ended in violence. Now he faces the consequences of his actions. As of March 2025, Kenichi sits in custody awaiting trial. The evidence against him is damning, and while the final verdict remains to be seen, one thing is almost certain: he won't be walking free anytime soon. In the aftermath, Irene Sato's viewers, family, and friends were left devastated. Her murder sent shockwaves far beyond social media, leaving a trail of broken hearts. Her channel wasn't just a platform, it was a community. Irene made everyone feel welcomed, creating a space where people could confide in each other. She wanted to make the world a better place. Now, her loved ones are left with a void that can never be filled, all because one fan refused to accept responsibility for his own actions. Kenichi Takano stole a daughter, a friend, and an idol from the people who cherished her.
Sato's friends in the live streaming community are in a state of shock. One live streamer says Sato did her broadcast at home and wasn't the kind to meet up with viewers. So he was concerned when he heard she would live stream a walk along the Yamanote loop line. He said her death has left him paralyzed.
The very qualities that made Irene so beloved, her warmth, her relatability, her kindness, also made her vulnerable. While she believed she was offering support, he was plotting to possess her, a wolf in sheep's clothing. He pretended to be one of the good ones, but in the end, she was wrong. A young life full of promise was stolen. The world lost a rising star, Her family lost someone irreplaceable. Those who loved her will never recover. And Kenichi Takano, he took Irie's life over a debt she never owed.
Seeing news about the death of someone my age is upsetting. I feel sad.
気持ちがいっぱいあります。
The victim, 22-year-old Sato Airi, lived in Tama City in the Tokyo suburbs. She was attacked without warning while live streaming on Tuesday.
Irie Sato's life is more than a tragedy. It's a warning, a reminder of the dangers of online obsessions, the predators who hide in plain sight, and the risks of sharing your life with the world. What remains is grief for a life taken too soon. But in the hearts of her viewers, her family, and the community she built, Irie Sato lives on.
At the scene of the crime, mourners have placed flowers, drinks, and snacks as a memorial.
I'm sure she had many things she wanted to do with her life. It's heartbreaking.
Would this murder have happened if she had drawn a clearer line between herself and her audience? Are online relationships turning into real-world dangers for influencers? Let's talk about it in the comments. This case is one that stays with you, a haunting reminder of how blurred the lines between online and reality can become. If you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new case. And if you're ready for more, click on the video on your screen now. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and as always, watch your back.